Hey guys, I'm Monster Matt here, and welcome back once again to Monster Sanctuary. Today I want to do another team that I've been trying to puzzle out for a while now. The team in question has been one that I've been keen to try, well, I guess I've already tried them, but keen to get right, I guess, for a long time, because I've always loved this kind of monster, and that's the Dragon team. Dragons have always been, like, one of my favorite things since I was a kid. Like, I grew up obsessed with dinosaurs, and dragons were, like, bigger, magical dinosaurs. It's like, this is the best thing ever, you know? So, wanted to try and get these guys right finally. It's only a three-man team. There aren't actually all that many dragons in the game. You could maybe fit a Scorch and a Glodra in as well, but like those are the only five I can think of. Well, besides the Draconov. Yeah, I guess if you had the Draconov, the first form of these three, plus the Scorch, plus the Glodra, then you'd have six. But I kind of focus on these three, since they kind of have the best kind of, like, group synergy with each other. I think I've finally gotten to the point where they're fairly good. They have their weaknesses. I mean, they're all weak to physical, which I'm not exactly in love with. They can get brute force down if you come across just the wrong team for them. That said, they're a fairly high critting team across the board. They hit pretty hard, especially the Gran here has some ridiculous offensive stats. But it's the Noir that is like the crit machine of the three of them. And then of course you have the Ice Dragon, who actually fits in pretty well as their shield maker and defense engine. Now they're not great at healing. All they have is a single stack of regeneration to heal themselves, which is not exactly fantastic. They don't have any real defense against debuffs, which is kind of unfortunate. But they have shielding. They have good, solid tank. They're not squishy. Like, they have good health and good defense. Some of them have great defense. They'll usually either have like really high health and like okay defense, or like okay health and really high defense. So either way, they're not easy to kill. I have spec'd them with some critting in mind, and with just trying to get some decent synergy out of them. So I'll cover each of them now. As always, I'll put a little timestamp down below, so you can get right to the Infinity Challenge if you guys want to see how they fare. I've left all of them dark shifted because blacksmithing increases defense, health, mana regen, crit chance, and crit damage. And since they are all kind of crit-ish builds, I've decided to leave it on all three of them, because that's a 45% boost, because it's not a unique aura, it does stack. So they each provide a 45, each of them individually provides a 15% boost to the whole party for like all of those stats, which helps up their crit, helps up their crit damage, keeps them tougher, and all that good stuff. I wish it would crank their damage too, but that'd be asking an awful lot, so I can see why it doesn't. So yeah, so for the Draco, I'm always forgetting their dang names. The Ice Dragon, Zool, yes. For the Zool, honestly, I started off with Chilling Wind because you kind of have to. I mean, it's it has to begin on Wind, Spell, Shield, Agility, and Ice Claws. But honestly, like, I don't actually need Ice Claws or Chilling Wind, and the reason for that is very simple. This Dragon has a fantastic ability called Dragon Mastery down here. Any action by any dragon in the party applies a debuff guaranteed based on the element of the attack. So, for example, if it's water, it will chill. If it's wind, it will shock. If it's earth, it will poison. If it's neutral, it'll apply armor break. And if it's a support move, it will apply weakness. So this basically means that you do not need Chilling Wind to apply chill. Because, yes, this applies chill, but it's a wind move, and it'll apply shock as well, and that's kind of nice if like, you want to do both. But, like, even using Snow Veil, which doesn't have any debuff properties at all, you'll still cause chill. Which is just nice. Like, it means that you can, it gives you a bit more flexibility. So, Ice Claws would be the better move if I was going, like, full bore crit on this particular dragon, but this is more of this is basically your support dragon. It's not as critically set up as some of the others. So I went with Snow Veil because Barrier is just a nice thing to have. It helps get it to survive longer. Plus, it stacks off mana. It has absolutely no like talents that help it get more crit, besides the ones that just like give it like these like the +5 crit chance ones. But it doesn't have like crit chance focus or crit damage focus. So I just figured, you know what, nuts to it. Let's just go ahead and stick to support mostly, and then go crit kind of in our extra points. So Snow Veil is your main your main magic damage, as well as your source of chill and just water damage. Barrier is nice too, especially because it has multi-barrier over in this tree. For your air attack, this is your physical attack. Aerial Strike gets you might and sidekick as well, because it's just nice to have. You take all your shield talents, because shielding is this thing's bread and butter. They all kind of hinge off of this one and the 2 buffing shields, because you have two instances of a buffing shield, one in this tree and one over here in this tree. And it means whenever you apply a buff, you apply a third of this monster's defense to your whole party, which is pretty solid. Well, not the whole party, I guess, but like to like whomever you're buffing, but you're buffing the whole party, so it's the whole party. You know what I mean. Considering this is the dragon with the highest defense. It actually works out pretty well, because, you know, his defense is over 400 pretty easily. I went ahead and gave him the 2 extra defense pluses in his tree, just to help secure that. There's another 2. There's another one somewhere. That one, and this one down here. Those are the only 2 he's got, unfortunately, but I went ahead and gave those to him to up his defense as high as it could go. So that's pretty excellent when buffing, because of course he has 2 separate buffs. And this is actually the one reason why I love this dragon the most, is he's one of the only monsters, maybe the only monster, certainly one of the few anyway, that can guarantee give out spell shield and agility, which means you have a chance to dodge physical and magic hits across your whole party. And that is honestly one of the biggest nice things about this team setup, is they have that 20% chance to dodge anything at all times, and that's just really nice. It's not guaranteed. It's not like, oh, you know, you're untouchable, but it certainly doesn't hurt. Also has mana shielding, so whenever you attack, you create a shield equal to 15% of your max mana for every hit you deal. So that's, you know, 4 hits there, 5 hits there. And that shields yourself, but you also have copy shielding, so a 5th of that goes to your allies anyway. So when you're attacking, when you're buffing, shields are being given out to your whole party. It's a nice thing to have. He's not the most shield-oriented creature, but it's a nice little thing to keep you kind of going. Barricade is one of the talents I'm really not so sure I want on this guy. It's kind of my iffiest talent. I could maybe see that being swapped out for heroism, considering the number of buffs that are being thrown around on this team. But it's a 4% chance that every shield you make will apply a barrier. Now, 4% is not very high, but you do put out an awful lot of shielding on this guy, so it's not as unlikely as you think. But that's kind of my iffier talent right there. He also, of course, as I said before, has multi-barrier. Dragon Skin it gives up barrier anyway, and he's got agility and sidekick on Quicken, plus multi-sidekick. Combo buffing, of course, always take that if you can absolutely, you know, I mean there's very few cases where I wouldn't recommend taking combo buffing. And then, of course, Exploit Party is also another amazing little talent where whenever a monster in your party exploits an enemy's weakness with an attack, it gains a random buff and shields itself by 1/3 of its maximum health. Or sorry, not 1/3, sorry, 3% of its maximum health. Which, considering how tanky these 2 guys are, is actually a lot more than it, well, not a lot more than it sounds. It's only 3%, but it's still it's more shielding, which is nice. Cascade, for a slight hike to how much power you have. Evasion is also a little iffy, because it's only got a 60% chance to crit, which is, I think it works out to like a I think, because like on a 10% chance to crit, it would be a 2% chance to dodge, so 6 times as much crit would be, what, 12% chance to dodge? But it stacks on top of these 2, so it's like a 1/3-ish chance to dodge, so I'll take it. Plus, I mean, that doesn't factor in the crit chance bump from blacksmithing either, I don't think. So it could be a little higher than that. So that's your ice dragon. You use them for support. Basically, you know, whichever team you're fighting, if they're more magic based, I would lead off with spell shield, or sorry, with dragon skin. If they're more physical based, then go with quicken. And then from there, you just want to chill stuff and just generally annoy people to create as much shielding as possible. Next up is the Draco, the Fire Dragon. This one is a little more bruisery. It doesn't have as much crit or as much like raw utility, but it does pretty solid damage. And because of Dragon Mastery, it can apply burns with its fire attacks, which is quite nice. Also has Forge, so it's kind of ends up being your like main deliberate shielder, while the Ice Dragon kind of tops it off, which is actually a nice combination between the two of them. Whenever it exploits weaknesses, it gets Might, and shields itself by half of its attack value, which, as you can see, is enormous. Its offensive stats are tremendously kind of ridiculous. It has Health Focus for its main stats. It also generates more attack and more magic twice off of its health, which is part of why its health is so huge and why its offense is so good. It's got health proc, which is amazing for this monster because it's 5% of your max health. Its max health is like 6,000, which is pretty sweet. Magic proc is not as good, but it's still like a third of your magic value, and magic is kind of enormous as well. So maybe not as impressive as health proc, but honestly it probably works out to more considering the percentage difference. Like a third of his magic would be over 200. Like I'd say between 200 and 300. Whereas 5% of 6,000, oh geez, 5% of 100 is 5. So for 1,000, it would be 50. Then 6 times that would be about 300. Actually, no, yeah. So the health proc is a bit more, but not like I think it's a bit more, but they're actually pretty close. I threw in some extra crit chance and crit damage, honestly, to try and get this thing a little more crit focused. Just because, like, it does have the potential to do quite a bit of damage. And I want to kind of, like, capitalize on that. I could also see you just throwing in these two instead. Like, if you didn't want to focus on crits for this monster, I could see you taking these 4 points and putting them into, like, the 2 defense pluses. And maybe, like, the attack plus and magic plus. That way it has like less chance for crit, but maybe a more stable guaranteed damage. I could definitely see that. Cleansing Flame I only took down to get to crit damage plus and the health proc. You don't need top level Cleansing Flame, honestly. Just having Cleansing Flame at all is nice because it can strip off buffs from your enemy team, which is quite nice to have. Cascade, same thing as on the previous dragon. The more hits you have, the more damage you do. Aerial Strike is again your physical wind damage. Heroism gets you more damage based on how many buffs you have on your team on your dragon, which is quite a few. Didn't feel the need to go with this one because it has enough mana as it is. Improved Assault is also a fantastic aura to have. Every monster in the party deals 3% more damage for each Might, Sorcery, and Glory buff on them. It's just a shame they can't stack any of those. There's probably a team in there somewhere that like capitalizes on Improved Assault that I think would be pretty frightening, but I don't have one off the top of my head. Also has an attack proc. It's actually worth mentioning too. This is one of the few monsters that has 3 separate proc skills. There's attack, magic, and health. And since attack is attack and magic are equal, that's another 300, well, 2 to 300 damage hit. So that's pretty good, honestly. Three bonus hits on like everything you do is quite nice. Your main attacks are Fire Claws and Heat Shimmer. Heat Shimmer applies glory to yourself, so if you don't want to use Forge, you don't have to. And Fire Claws has bonus crit damage, which is quite nice. I kind of forego this claw route on both other dragons, and I'll explain why when I get to them. But on this guy, the damage between Fire Claws and Heat Shimmer is pretty similar, so the extra crit damage actually like matters, because like this, like the Fire Claws does 440% physical damage. This is 475% magical damage. So Fire Claws does do more damage once you have all your buffs set up. So if it's weak to physical fire, I'd say go for it. Fire Claws will be your main damage. If it resists physical or something, and but like not magic, then go with Heat Shimmer essentially. And of course you have Aerial Strike in a pinch. Got crit hybridization, so whenever you land a crit with magic, you'll do a bonus physical hit. If you land a crit with physical, you'll do a bonus magical hit. It's good either way. 10% more fire damage because of fire affinity, and that sums it up. He's pretty hard to kill. Oh, he also has Sorcerer as well on top of Brawler. So whenever you explode a weakness, you gain Might and Sorcery, and you shield for half your attack and half your magic. So Again, like, this thing is great at just beefing itself up really, really fast. Oh, and of course you want to have your life channel here as well. Channel is a little bit required for this party, by the way. It just makes life easier for your last dragon here, as its mana is a little bit low. I kind of took some risks on its mana for the final one. For ultimates, by the way, I went with Ice Breath for this dragon, because it kind of lacks any, like, real... Well, I guess it's not that lacking as far as magic damage goes. I could see you going Typhoon Cut, as it's just a bigger, stronger aerial strike. But honestly, the damage difference isn't that big. What I like about this one, about Ice Breath, is it gives this monster a way to take away buffs as well, and it can apply buffs to itself, which is quite nice in a pinch. This is a good way to apply Sidekick to the whole party, but I mean, you already have a way to do that anyway, so... And then for the Fire Dragon, you have Fire Breath, which does almost the same thing, but it removes one buff from the entire enemy party, and it gives one buff to your whole party at random. But I kind of like Lava Stream better. It's a more concentrated physical fire attack. 525, which is actually strong enough, because, like, even with the extra crit damage, Fire Claws does, like, what, like 490? Well, no, I guess not, because it would be per hit, wouldn't it? Hard to say, then. But this one, of course, has a chance to apply Armor Break as well, which is quite nice. So once everything's all set up, that's kind of a nice option. I can also see you taking Fire Breath, honestly. Like, both work. I just kind of took this one because I like having, like, a high damage single target move. And then for the Draco Noir, this one is your crit machine. I went with Bite over Claws, because there's a 60% damage difference between them, so Bite hits significantly harder. And it also heals you, which is nice, because this team doesn't have a lot of direct healing, so I went with that one over Claws. It has crit chance and crit damage focus, so that's kind of what I built it on. 10% more crit chance on neutral moves. Its first crit always applies poison, which is just nice to have, because why not? Even if you don't crit, actually, you can apply poison via earth moves because of your Dragon Mastery, but, like, It's nice to have it either way. Shadow Storm hits all enemies and can apply Blind, which makes your team do more damage. Every hit you inflict actually has a chance to cause Blind as well. It's not really centric to your build, but it's nice to have, like, you know, if you happen to inflict Blind, it's something you can kind of capitalize on for just some extra bonus damage, which is nice. Heroic Defense, because lots of buffs going around, you know, makes you harder to kill. Attack proc, of course, because, you know, your attack is quite high. Getting extra damage is nice. This guy doesn't have a lot of procs either. Actually, I think attack proc is his only one, which is odd to me, because his magic is just as high as his attack is, but he doesn't get a magic proc. It's weird. That's this tree. For your buffs, of course, you have Wizardry, which is Sorcery, and Channel, which is quite nice. Combo buffing, of course, Overcast for just more damage across the board. Multi-channel, which is very, very nice to have on this team, honestly. It makes this guy's whole thing kind of work better. Hybrid Master means your attack and magic go up by 10% of each other, which is just nice to have. And accordingly, I've given him a magic plus and an attack plus. That way they build off each other, which is quite nice as well. Anti-Curse makes debuffs less effective on the whole party, which is your only real defense against them, so that's very nice to have. Having Buff Catalyst on him is great too. So all buffs are 20% more effective on this monster, so that's your healing, that's your channel, that's everything. It just works better on this guy. His crit chance is 81% already because of the crits in his build, which I've given him both of. His crit damage, I gave him one from his talents as well. So his crit damage is 99%, which is quite nice. Crit defense means 10% of his crit damage is also damage reduction. So he takes about 10% less damage just from that, which is quite nice too. I decided to go with Soul Beam over Stone Rain because Soul Beam gets you regen, which you can already get from the Dracogran, but it's also magic earth damage, which is just nice to have. So he kind of has one physical move and one magic move, but for his ultimate I gave him Boulder Toss, which is just one colossal hit that is physical, so that kind of takes the place of needing Stone Rain. because it also ignores half their defense and can't be dodged, which is just nice, frankly. I can also see you using Dark Shroud instead, though, as it hits one target and tethers and blinds them and does like a lot of it does a good bit of damage. Gemstone Barrage would be good if you want if you were concerned about getting regen to your whole party, but like that's kind of what this guy does. So I figure 1 Earth, 1 Fire, and 1 Ice high damage move was a good ultimate for each of these guys. Gear-wise, I went with the Shuriken for this one for crit. Mana and crit, mana and mana regen, crit and mana regen. I wanted to try and get as much crit into it as possible. Just to kind of make each one a bit more threatening. The Moon Sword on this guy is phenomenal. Like, just it's a huge magic and a huge physical boost. Defense and regen, crit and regen, and then attack, magic, and health, because again it builds off of health. Sorry, to just crank those offensive stats up into the stratosphere and give it more health than it had before even. And this guy, Shuriken, and then crit and crit damage, crit and mana regen, and then offense and crit. So I really did not go my usual route of having a lot of mana regen for this guy. I am kind of banking on Channel doing the work for me on this guy, which so far has actually worked out pretty well. Actually, I'm not entirely dissatisfied with that. So let's see how they do. They definitely benefit from having a bit of a setup turn, which is not something I did, which is kind of okay, honestly. I don't mind having that. Like at least those two spells, like either your Dragon Skin or your quickness, and then your channel and regen, and then you're free to attack with this guy. Usually how I operate. This guy's weak to physical earth, so here you go. Drop a big old rock on your head, get some poison going. He'll do some damage, but it's okay. Take some damage, but they're already kind of going all pear-shaped there, so let's get our other set of buffs on. Finish off the goblin. This guy gets almost guaranteed crits, which is kind of filthy, honestly. He does a lot of damage. Ooh, the miss. That worked out very nicely for us. Snowveil. Start to pinch off his mana a little bit there because, of course, he needs mana. And the chill will reduce how much he gets. There we go. And the bite. And there you go. Like I said, once these guys get rolling, they're actually pretty strong. Hey, they have their own dragons and spinners this time. That's cool. Alright, well, let's go with Quicken this time. This is a more physical team, I think. Kinda don't want to leave the enemy dragon just sitting there looking at me, because it's kinda... Get some poison on there at least. Mud cannon. Okay. Kicking web. Right. Tether. It's more of a group damage team. That's kind of interesting, actually. I'm going to go for Forge this time, I think, because I'm very much in a bit of a bind there. We took a lot of damage there. I really want to get rid of that, it was something anyway. Let's try and get some line going on them. This is actually a very unfavorable matchup for me, I gotta say. I wasn't expecting these guys to be this much of a problem. Dang, that's bad. I think if I had to do this one over again, I would probably focus on the goblin more, like just out the gate, just to get rid of something. We're not done yet, but that definitely did not start off well for us. We've got all our buffs on us, which is good, but I don't know, we'll see. This is going to be a bit dicey for us. But that our bite does so much damage is our one saving grace here, because it heals us, and he doesn't have it on his noir. So that was close. That almost had us there. Whew. Oh, blob team. Interesting. Okay. Alrighty. They're weak to neutral on that one. Yeah, fine. Let's toss out some blind to get us started. Arcane shield. All right. Freeze. They have congeal. That's right. I should get rid of that ice blob. Lickety split. We don't want that sticking around too long. Should be able to do some pretty solid damage, actually, if we use Heat Shimmer from our Fire Dragon. Not what I was expecting, but the Ignite damage finishes it off for us, thankfully. Okay, no more congeal for us, that's good. Oh yeah, my, here. Why don't we use this? Take off some buffs from him. Won't do all that much damage, but it debuffs him somewhat, which I like. Goodbye, Rainbow Blob. And the teeth. Nice. Sicker Phantom, Tanuki, and Glowfly. Okay. Reminds me, have I got this out of there? No. Let me put this in there. Fire Claws isn't actually a bad move on him, but I should remember that it's there. Alright. Anti-magic and defense is just nice. Healing. You're weak to earth, which is bad news for you. It's magic and agility. Healing. Wind damage. Not too threatening so far, actually. I feel pretty good about this. So far, at least. Some chill on you. Heat Shimmer. Finish off the bug. Yeah, so far I'm not really feeling too threatened here. Let's go with Lava Stream this one. Turn up the heat. Oh, geez, high. That's a lot of lava. A whole lot of lava. Shielding leaves. He's weak to air again. You know, let's get rid of some of those buffs first. No more agility for you, which means my teeth can finally sink in on you. Although I can just do this too, so that's fine. Alright, level 64. Polterruffin, Shockhopper, and Araklich. Ooh. The Hopper and the Lich, of course, an old favorite team of ours, so watch out for those guys. Definitely gonna need magic shielding on this one. Still, though, the Draco Grand, as I recall, was always a colossal pain in the neck whenever I fought him with those guys, so I'm gonna go after the Penguin first, because it has all the healing magic. Ice Bolt hurt a lot too. No questions there. Let's go ahead and get a second layer of buffing up on this guy. A little more shielding while we're at it, I guess. Soul Beam. Alright, I'll try and finish it off with Heat Shimmer. There we go. The Lich is still threatening, but the less combo building he's got, the better it is for us. Just ow. Alright, let's go after the Lich has to go, but I mean, his Ice Bolt is a lot less scary if he has no team to build it up for him first. Still hurts though, in all fairness. And he's got Congeal. I didn't take that into account. Really should have. Not sure why I didn't. Oh well. We got him now. And the finisher. Up to level 69. I think this is about where our last team failed here. I think. I guess the fact that you get different teams every time does kind of affect how far you go, though. I'm gonna throw out a Shadow Storm just for general blinding here. That's a lot of buffs. Kinda, like, the Yowie's not that scary on its own. Kinda want to focus on the Steam Golem first, but maybe the Bug would be good to get rid of too, because it does have a lot of shielding potential. Let's go with Ice Breath there. Heal off some of its buffs at least before we go in for the bite. Because the Yowie has very little offensive potential on its own. It's just not very strong. Like it's a fantastic support monster, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have a lot of oomph otherwise. You know what? I kind of love that bite move. It does so much damage. Not a lot of things resist neutral. Some things resist physical attacks, though, of course, in general. But I think the poison will finish off the golem at this point, most likely. And the yeah. So that. Let's use Cleansing Flame on you. Some of those buffs off, and then chomp chomp. Level 76. Ooh, Brutus. Dark Shift Brutus. That scares me a little bit. Okay. Definitely going with agility on this one. Gotta dodge some physical. Big time dodging, please. I want to use my shielding before I use my buffing as well. This is gonna hurt. We'll see. Can I squish any of his supporters beforehand? Maybe. Maybe. The beetle is where his shielding is coming from. Let's go for that first, maybe. Oh, wow. That's a lot of damage. Alright, well there goes my first dragon immediately. That kind of sucks. Don't really have the space to be picky with this one. Gonna have to go for it and bring him back. Alright, Mantis does a lot of damage too, I gotta say. Owie! Owie, 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 owie. Big time owie. Oh. One down. Again, we're just trying to get rid of the of course, he's about to use that same move again on me, isn't he? If he does that again, we're all gonna die. That's not good. Very not good. If I'm very lucky, this will crush him immediately. Yeah, big rock. Please don't flurry of blows me again. You're good. Okay, ow. Fine, fair enough. Ow. Oh, Brutus. Brutus is another monster that I wish I understood. He seems so good whenever the enemy uses him, but I can never figure him out. Oh, it hurt. I think we did pretty well for ourselves there, though, honestly. Got high. I think that's our highest run so far, so I'm actually pretty pleased with that. I'm pretty happy with the fact that our dragon team finally managed to actually get to the point where they were able to, you know, Team Dragon. It's a kind of a lame general name for the team, but it'll work for now. So that's our dragon team, you guys. I might finally tackle the Brutus team for our next episode on Friday, and then next week I think I'll get started on those beginner challenges and Nuzlocke. Because I think you guys wanted the beginner challenge first, and then the Nuzlocke, I guess, because it seemed to be the general consensus. You guys wanted the challenge first, so that's fine. I think I will start that on Monday. So for Friday, expect, I guess, we'll try the Brutus team. It's gonna be a thing. Do I even have him on me? I do. There you are. Well, 37. I'll have to fix that at some point too. I do have some, actually. Abyssal Sword, Skill Potions, Frosty Egg, Mad Eye Egg, Cocoon, Elder Gel Egg. Oh, Light Shifted one too. There you go. You find all kinds of crazy stuff sometimes in these. But yeah, we'll try and get the Brutus. Yeah, a light Elder Gel. That's cool. We'll try and get Brutus here operational on Friday. I want to see him do something. I don't know what shift he's going. Like, I mean, obviously we've just seen that one works pretty well. 25% less mana cost is nice, but Utopia is free charge, and it gets him more mana as well. So I guess we'll see. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you had a blast. For now, I'm Monster Matt out, and please take care of yourselves because you're worth it. If you'd like to join us for our streams, I stream every day except for Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, a variety of games. So if you just want to come by and hang out and get to know me a little bit better or anything like that, we'd love to have you. And yeah, so see you soon. And bye-bye.